Hey, how's it going? Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Chris, where is the wonderful intro music? Where is the fancy intro card? Where is the snappy intro dialogue? Why do you keep saying intro or intro? Why are you messing up so much? Well, I'll tell you. As much as I love my podcast interviews, and I will still continue to do them, I started feeling like I wanted to share more of myself in smaller increments. So I'm going to produce these very low budget, like I'm rolling in the cash in the first place, videos just to get some ideas out there, just to maybe share what I'm thinking about. Not now, I will say I think about public speaking and scar bearers and sharing my message all the time. But I have other thoughts as well. Those of you who are sharing the time with me on YouTube can see I am clearly a huge geek. I'm flanked by Iron Man, the Ninja Turtles, and the Transformers, and I'm donning a Star Wars sweater. And in the spirit of my geekiness, today I'm going to talk about WandaVision. Now, if you're not aware of what WandaVision is, I will give you a non-spoilery concept rundown. Again, this is off the cuff, so lots of mistakes will be made here. WandaVision takes place right after Avengers Endgame. We're not exactly sure when after, could be a couple months, could be a couple years, but it happens afterwards. And we see Wanda and Vision in different sitcom decades, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s. Now, again, this is not a non-spoilery description, so I really can't say any more than that. But I will say this. This series is fantastic. What Marvel has done in their first outing on Disney Plus is swing big for the fences. Now, I know that there are some people who do not like it. They just are not jiving with the pacing. They don't get why it's black and white. They don't get why Vision is not dead. Again, I'm not saying anything, but I absolutely love it because it shows us what makes the MCU so great. The MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, is at its best when it's not kowtowing to comic book tropes or what we're used to when we go to a superhero movie. All right. Now I know that Iron Man 1, the first Iron Man in 2008, seems like you're, run of the mill superhero movie. But really, when you think about it, if they didn't go for it as much as they did in that first outing, we wouldn't have an MCU. And because they did, we get to geek out 3 or 4 times a year, at least. And I mean, with Disney Plus now that they're starting to release new content, even more so. Now, I know what you can say that, Thor: The Dark World and Iron Man 3 weren't the best MCU movies, and I'm not going to argue with you. But they're passable. It had some good moments. But once you get to Captain America: Winter Soldier and Guardians of the Galaxy, all the different movies have their own flavor. And that's what I love about it. Big swings are being taken here. And I love the lesson that we can take from it. I don't know if you guys know this, but none of us are going to live forever. I hate to break it to you, and I'm sorry if I just brought a downer onto us, Debbie Downer. Wah, wah. But it's true. That should make us want to embrace life and to go for the swing big, go for the gusto, do everything with as much fervor and energy as we can. Because life is not guaranteed to us. All right. So let's do something with it. Let's be creative. Now, I'm not saying you should go and do something that hurts yourself or hurts other people. Please don't take that away from this conversation here. But let's do something. Do something great. If you fail, at least you're failing instead of doing nothing. All right? Fail big then, but do something. All right? Be WandaVision. There you go. So that went a different place than I thought it would in the beginning. I was just going to talk about WandaVision or end up being a life lesson. So these little episodes are going to be like that. I'm not going to have fancy graphics. The whiteboard probably is going to be the extent of my visual acumen. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but I'm going to go with it. I'm going to give Nate and Britton a break. You know, they do so much for me in the first place. And I probably will I'll keep labeling the podcast episodes numerically. But these little vignettes, these little conversations, no, they're not technically conversations because you're not talking back to me unless you're doing it in the comments. These are just going to be whenever I want to do them. Because that's what thoughts are. Thoughts pop up whenever you have them. I'm going to share my thoughts. And if you don't like it, cool. I'm not expecting you to agree with me. I'm not expecting you to like everything I do. And if you don't like anything I do anymore, I wish you nothing but the best. But if you're hanging out with me, awesome. If you want to give me ideas to share, go for it. I may not share them, but just know that you're heard and I will respond back. All right. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to say. I want to keep this short, so I don't want to waste your time. This is not making good podcast material or YouTube time. So I'm just going to say bye. All right. So thanks for joining me. Please have a great day. And remember to pass on perfection and go for greatness. Yes, I'm still going to say that.